Hello everybody and welcome to the fifth practice video for factoring quadratics, this time with leading coefficients. So when we have a leading coefficient, which is the number in front of x squared, we take this number and multiply it by the constant, and then we try and find two numbers that multiply together to give us this number. For instance, in this example, we have 2 times 3, which equals 6. Then we could have 1 times 6, 2 times 3, or minus 2 times minus 3, or minus 1 times minus 6. So all these pairs of numbers multiply together to give us positive 6. But as before, they also need to add up to give us minus 5. And looking down our list, we can see that minus 2 times minus 3 gives us positive 6, and they also add together to give us minus 5. And the next step is to rewrite the expression, but replace the minus 5x with minus 2x minus 3x. Then we take the first two terms and find the greatest common factor for these two terms, which is 2x. So if you take 2x outside the bracket and times that by x minus 1, we get 2x squared minus 2x. Next, we take the greatest common factor of the last two terms, and that is a 3. So if we take a 3 outside of a bracket and times that by x minus 1, we would get 3x plus 3 because of this minus sign here, and a minus would make a positive. Now, as long as this bracket and this bracket are the same, we have the first bracket of our solution, which in this case is x minus 1. And as you can see from the line above, x minus 1 has to be multiplied by 2x, and it also has to be multiplied by minus 3. So our second bracket is going to be 2x minus 3. And as before, if you want to double check your answer, you can multiply these brackets out and make sure you get the same as the original expression, which we do, so that's correct. In the next expression, we multiply 2 by 15, which gives us 30, and then we'd need to find two numbers that multiply together to give us 30, which could be 1 times 30, or 2 times 15, 3 times 10, or 5 times 6. However, they also need to add together to give us minus 11. So we should have used two negative numbers. So if we used minus 5 and minus 6, we know that they would multiply together to give us 30, and they would also add together to give us minus 11. So we can rewrite the expression and replace minus 11x with minus 6x minus 5x. Then, taking the greatest common factor from the first two terms, we have 2x, and then if we multiply 2x by x minus 3, we have 2x squared minus 6x, and then for the second two terms, we can take a 5 outside of the bracket and times that by x minus 3, and that would give us minus 5x plus 15 because of this double negative. Then as long as these two brackets are the same, which they are, we have the first bracket of our solution, which is x minus 3. And as you can see in the line above, x minus 3 needs to be multiplied by 2x and minus 5. So the second bracket is 2x minus 5. And if you want to verify the solution, you can multiply the brackets out and you'll see we get the same as the original expression. So this is also correct. In the next expression, multiplying the leading coefficient by the constant gives us 2 times minus 10, which gives us minus 20. The numbers that we can multiply together to get minus 20 are 1 times minus 20, or 2 times minus 10, or 4 times minus 5, for instance. Of course, we could swap the minus sign to the other number, for instance, minus 1 times 20, or minus 2 times 10, etc. But I can see we already have our answer because the two numbers also need to add up to minus 1. And 4 plus minus 5 gives us minus 1, so they're the numbers we need. So next we replace the minus x with plus 4x minus 5x. Now, taking out the greatest common factor from the first two terms is 2x. So inside the bracket we have to have an x plus 2, which gives us 2x squared plus 4x. And the greatest common factor for the second two terms is 5, and we would have to put x plus 2 inside the brackets to give us 5x minus 10. And as these two brackets, x plus 2, are the same, we know we're on the right path, and that is the first bracket of our solution. And as you can see from the line above, x plus 2 is times by 2x, and also times by minus 5, so the second bracket is 2x minus 5. Now, to verify we have the correct solution, we can multiply the brackets out and we get 2x squared minus 5x plus 4x minus 10, which gives us 2x squared minus x minus 10, the same as the original expression, so we know we've done it correctly. In the next expression, we start by multiplying 3 by 8, which gives us 24. Then we have to find two numbers that multiply together to give us 24. Now, I'm going to use just two negative numbers because I've already seen that they also need to add up to minus 10. So those numbers could be minus 1 minus 24, minus 2 minus 12, minus 3 minus 8, or minus 4 times minus 6. Now, minus 4 minus 6 add up to minus 10, so we're going to use these numbers. So we replace minus 10x with minus 4x minus 6x. Now, the greatest common factor for the first two terms is just x. So inside the bracket, we have to have 3x minus 4. And the greatest common factor for the second two terms is just a 2. So inside the bracket, we have to have 3x minus 4. So as the bracket 3x minus 4 is the same, we have the first bracket of our solution, and the second bracket will be x minus 2. And again, you can multiply these brackets out to check we get the original expression. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks ever so much for watching, and don't worry if you haven't quite got this, we're going to go through lots more examples in the following videos. Meanwhile, if you could smash that like button, that would really help me out, and hit subscribe to receive more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one.